A small starship drifted into unknown space, moving with slow and heavy motion as if it had traveled a long distance. No one in the Galactic Council had ever seen anything like it. The ship looked old, rough, and strangely armored, with thick plates covering every side. It did not shine like other ships, and it was not sleek or elegant. It looked more like a piece of metal debris that had somehow survived a violent storm. Observation drones were sent by the Council to scan it. Those drones were small machines shaped like round spheres, able to read everything about any ship. They scanned warships, peaceful trading ships, science vessels, and even alien life forms. They never failed. But when they tried to read the mysterious ship, the drones became confused. Their sensors glitched. Readings came back empty, then overloaded, then silent. It was as if the ship was blocking them, or simply too unpredictable for their technology. The Council satellites spoke to each other in coded signals. Confused messages filled the Council network. Some believed the ship was damaged. Some thought it was a new stealth weapon. Others assumed it was primitive and unimportant. The Council commander on duty, a tall insect-like being named Verash, clicked his mandibles nervously. He studied the strange object on his holo screen. He did not like unknown things. Unknown things were often dangerous. He gave the order to send a boarding team. The team consisted of 5 different species, each dressed in protective gear. They flew toward the silent ship in a small shuttle. They were confident. They believed they were dealing with something weak. Why? Because the ship was small. It was only half the size of an average transport craft. In the Council's mind, a small ship could never be powerful. They prepared to cut open the outer shell. However, before they could do so, a hatch slowly opened on its own, as if inviting them in. The boarding team hesitated. The diplomatic robot floated forward, trying to scan the open entrance. Again, the scans failed. The boarding team stepped inside. Immediately, everything felt wrong to them. The air was toxic by Council standards. It contained too much oxygen. It burned slightly in their lungs. Their suits tried to filter the air, but alarms flashed rapidly. The air pressure was too high. It squeezed their bodies uncomfortably. The gravity felt heavy, painful even, pulling them down as if the floor wanted to crush them. The radiation levels made their sensors scream. It was low enough not to kill instantly, but high enough to be dangerous to most species. The team became frightened. What kind of life could exist here? To them, this ship was not a tool or home. It was a dead trap. A ship built for a species that could survive poison, pressure, weight, and heat. Many Council species would faint in minutes. They walked through metal corridors that showed scratches, dents, burn marks, rough welding, and patched repairs. Everything looked imperfect, but strong. Nothing was made to look beautiful. Everything was made to survive. On the wall, they saw icy frost around a large sealed chamber. Lights blinked softly around it. It was some kind of cryosleep system. Inside the frozen capsule, there was a creature, a strange creature. It had 2 arms, 2 legs, and pale skin. Its face was calm, but the body looked large by Council standards. Muscles showed under the frost-covered surface. The being looked as if it had been built to fight storms. The alien biologist in the team took pictures nervously. The skin is raw. No protective scales. No exoskeleton. No fur. How does it survive? Another alien muttered. It shouldn't survive. This life form is impossible. They found more cryo chambers. 5 in total. Each holding a similar being. Each different in size, but sharing the same shape. The aliens whispered among themselves. A dying species? Crying for help? Lost technology? Before they could discuss more, a rumble shook the room. The cryo chamber doors began to open. Warning lights flashed around them. The aliens panicked and stumbled backward. Steam poured out, fogging the air. A hand pressed against the glass. The chamber opened with a loud creak. The being stepped forward, coughing hard at first, but quickly steadying itself. The heavy air did not harm it. The pressure did not crush it. The radiation did not weaken it. Instead, it breathed deeply, as if the air was normal and familiar. It opened its eyes and looked around. Its eyes were small and round, with a sharp awareness that made the aliens feel like insects. The creature spoke in a low and tired voice, rough from sleep. "Where are we?" Translation drones hurried to convert its words. The alien team froze in fear as the next chamber opened, revealing a woman with dark hair and brown eyes. She gasped as she awoke, then leaned against the wall, adjusting to the surroundings easily. The names on their cryo labels were simple. The aliens read them aloud, struggling to pronounce them. Jack Carter, Laura Phillips, Kevin Ross, Claire Dixon, Eric Dean. The humans looked around in confusion, not understanding what was happening. They woke slowly from deep sleep, stretching, blinking, adjusting their stiff bodies. They looked at the aliens with curiosity, not fear. When Jack tried to step forward, the aliens flinched and raised their weapons. Jack raised his hands slowly, trying to show he meant no harm. Laura tried to speak calmly. "We are explorers. We come in peace. We are not here to fight." The aliens did not believe it. Their translators made her soft tone sound threatening. Mistranslations caused confusion. Kevin Ross, the biologist, noticed the aliens struggling to breathe in the ship's air. He frowned and tapped at the console, adjusting the oxygen regulators. "This atmosphere. It's too strong for them. We need to lower the level." Claire Dixon, the engineer, crouched to inspect their equipment, curious about the alien technology. Eric Dean, the pilot, looked out a viewport and muttered, "This is not Earth. Definitely not." Jack finally gave a shaky smile. "Hello, we're humans. We're from planet Earth." As soon as the word Earth was translated, the aliens searched their database. The answer that came back frightened them even more. Earth. Classified as a death world. High danger level. Extreme weather. Violent ecosystem. Hostile wildlife. Disease-rich environment. The aliens stepped backward again. Their suits beeped alarms so loudly that even humans could hear them. The humans were confused. They had no idea why the aliens were afraid. Jack tried to calm them. "We're not dangerous. We just want to talk. We were testing a jump drive. It must have malfunctioned." Translator drones repeated his words, but the meaning changed in alien ears. The translation made Jack sound like he was claiming humans survived disasters easily and traveled through space fearlessly. The aliens assumed that humans did not fear radiation or hostile environments. They thought humans were proud of surviving death. Laura slowly held out her hand. "Peace," she said. The aliens did not know what a handshake was. They interpreted it as a physical challenge. They backed away even more, thinking humans were issuing dominant signs. Eric whispered to Jack, "We're scaring them." "Why?" Jack whispered back. "All we're doing is talking." Meanwhile, alien authorities outside the ship saw the humans moving. Alive. Functioning in a ship filled with dangerous air, heavy gravity, and radiation that would kill them. They sent emergency messages to the council. New labels appeared on the screen. Unknown species. Capable of surviving lethal environments. Unknown abilities. Unpredictable. Danger assessment. Extremely high. Possible invader or apex predator. The humans didn't know any of this. They simply looked around, amazed. They thought they were making first contact with friendly aliens. Jack smiled awkwardly, repeating, "We want peace." The aliens only heard, "We are strong enough to survive anything." The crew of humans began checking the ship's systems. They spoke casually about earth storms, wild animals, freezing winters, hot deserts, and how humans learned to live through pain, hunger, disease, and danger. The aliens listened in horror. Everything the humans said sounded like nightmare stories. To humans, these stories were normal life. Eventually, The aliens backed away toward the ship's exit. They needed to escape and warn the council. Jack raised his hand again, and this time his translator made the message clearer. Please, don't be afraid. We want to talk. We need help. This time, the message made some sense. The aliens paused. They did not respond, but they did not flee. Instead, they stared at Jack with wide, fearful eyes. They began to understand slowly. These beings did not come to attack. They came seeking assistance, lost in space. But still, they were a species that could live inside death. And that changed everything. The humans did not know they had already terrified an entire government. They were just waking up, trying to understand where they were. They had no idea what the galaxy would soon call them. Deathworlders. And the galaxy had no idea what humans truly were. Not yet. The humans spent the next few days aboard their small starship, trying to understand where they had arrived. Jack Carter paced slowly through the corridors, his boots clanging softly on the metal floor. He was not used to being watched with fear. Yet every move he made seemed to terrify the aliens nearby. He tilted his head and looked at the alien commander, Verash, who hovered nervously a few meters away. The insect-like being clicked its mandibles constantly, signaling confusion and worry. We didn't mean to scare anyone, Jack said calmly, though he had no idea if the words were translated correctly. The translation drones tried, but every sentence seemed to exaggerate the human's strength. Laura Phillips, standing beside him, tried a different approach. She pointed to the ship's navigation console and showed maps of space routes. We came here by accident, she explained. We are explorers. We only want to learn about other worlds, not to fight. The aliens tilted their heads, whispering urgently among themselves. Even with the translator, they could not fully understand human logic. Humans were a puzzle. They seemed fragile in some ways, yet completely unafraid of dangers that would kill most species in minutes. Kevin Ross, the human biologist, moved closer to the alien team. He wanted to study them in return. Your biology is fascinating, he said in a friendly tone. Your breathing system, your circulatory structure, it's so different from ours. Can we take samples? The aliens gasped and backed away. To them, asking for biological samples was aggressive. It was an act of war in their culture. Kevin held his hands up and laughed nervously. I just want to study. I promise no harm. Claire Dixon, the engineer, was already at work on a damaged alien scanner. She had noticed that the aliens' ship systems were unstable. Sparks flew from her tool as she adjusted a power regulator. The aliens froze. Fire, even a small spark, was terrifying to their kind. One alien officer fainted from stress. Claire did not understand what had happened. She simply shrugged and continued working. Eric Dean, the pilot, was fascinated by the alien navigation controls. He studied them quietly, tapping buttons gently, observing how the ship responded. The aliens watched him like he was a predator about to strike. Every small human movement seemed filled with confidence and control. As the humans explored, they spoke casually about their homeworld. Jack talked about earth storms. Laura mentioned high mountains. Kevin described dangerous wildlife. Claire explained the planet's earthquakes, and Eric spoke of flying through tornadoes. To humans, these were ordinary stories. To aliens, these sounded like accounts of living through endless death. The aliens whispered among themselves, their voices filled with worry. These creatures survive extreme radiation. They endure poisonous air. They walk in storms that would destroy our cities. And they are calm. They are proud of surviving death. The humans had no idea they were terrifying the council. They thought the aliens were just shy or cautious. They smiled, waved, and spoke politely, believing in friendship first. One day, Kevin Ross approached an injured alien who had fallen on a damaged walkway. The alien's leg was broken. Kevin knelt beside it and began treatment. He injected a painkiller, adjusted the limb, and stitched the wound. The alien stayed still, surprised that the pain was almost gone, yet awake and aware. To the Council, this was unnatural. No species survived pain like humans. The aliens began to whisper again. Humans had power over life and death. Not with weapons, but with their bodies. Laura Phillips tried to teach the aliens a simple language exercise. She smiled, pointing to objects, saying their names slowly. The aliens hesitated, some became nervous, while others fainted from minor physical contact. To humans, it was normal to shake hands and touch arms lightly. To the aliens, physical contact was aggressive, almost violent. Rumors of humans spread quickly through council channels. Words like apex predator, Deathworlder, fearless, immune to poison, and unpredictable circulated. Every council member discussed them in private. Some wanted to destroy the humans before they learned more. Others thought humans could be valuable allies if controlled carefully. Jack Carter gathered his team one evening. The lights of their small ship glowed faintly. "We need to show them we mean peace," he said. "We are not invaders. We just want to learn about them and their worlds." Laura nodded. "But we can't be too careful. They already think we are dangerous. We need to be calm, but also firm." Claire grinned. "Calm? I'm already calm. They should see how calm we are when fixing things that could explode." Eric laughed quietly. "If they think fixing a machine is dangerous, wait until they see how we handle a real storm." Kevin smiled and added, "We'll show them that humans survive, but also care. Not everything we do is about fighting." As the humans prepared for a formal meeting with the Council, they had no idea the Council had already issued warnings to every planet nearby. Humans were now classified as an unknown variable. Species were told, "Avoid contact if possible. If you meet them, do not underestimate them. They survive impossible dangers." The humans landed on a council outpost to prepare for the meeting. The outpost was filled with different species. Small amphibians, winged creatures, insectoids, and beings of crystal-like skin. Everyone kept a distance. Security drones hovered around constantly. Humans waved and smiled, not noticing the fear their presence caused. Jack stepped forward, offering a hand to greet a winged officer. The officer froze, unsure how to react. Other species watched carefully. The humans were calm, moving through heavy gravity and slightly toxic air, as if it were nothing. "Hello," Jack said. "We come in friendship. We mean no harm." The translator drones repeated his words. This time, the message seemed slightly more accurate. Some of the aliens relaxed, though most still kept distance. They were still wary of what humans could do if angered. As the humans explored the outpost, they noticed small hazards, unstable walkways, sparking wires, and leaking fuel. While aliens avoided these areas, humans moved freely, testing each path, adjusting equipment, and even helping repair dangerous sections. Claire used a metal bar to hold a ceiling in place. Sparks flew as she struck a beam to fit it. Aliens gasped. To them, humans were reckless. To humans, it was simple work. Kevin examined small alien animals kept in the outpost laboratories. He handled them gently, studying their reactions, feeding them, and cleaning their habitats. To aliens, it seemed impossible that a creature could touch others so casually and survive without fear. Eric climbed high scaffolds to adjust communication arrays, ignoring the weak railings. His balance and speed impressed the humans, but terrified the aliens. They whispered warnings to each other. Humans were fearless, not reckless, but unafraid of what would kill anyone else. As days passed, humans began to interact more with the council species. They shared knowledge of their planet, showing pictures of forests, mountains, storms, and wildlife. The aliens listened, confused. Some stories were horrifying. Floods, lightning, tornadoes, poisonous creatures, and deadly illnesses. Yet humans smiled as they spoke, remembering each challenge with pride. One evening, Jack spoke with Verash privately. "We're not enemies. We only want to learn. We survive hard worlds. Yes, but we don't attack others." Verash clicked its mandibles slowly. "Your words. They do not match our perception. To us, your kind is death itself." Jack frowned. "We survive danger, but we help others too. That is our way." In another room, Laura was teaching young aliens to read simple words. She held up pictures of human families, human cities, and human storms. The children were scared at first, but gradually began to understand. Humans could face danger, yet care for each other. The council continued to monitor the humans. They tested their reactions. When a small laboratory accident caused a fire, humans ran toward the danger, helping injured aliens immediately. They ignored the risk of radiation and fire exposure. The council observed, these beings did not fight because they sought death, they faced death to save others. One human, Claire Dixon, lifted debris off a trapped alien using her bare hands. Eric climbed a collapsing support beam to reach creatures trapped above. Jack coordinated the rescue calmly, giving precise instructions. Laura treated the wounded as quickly as possible. The council began to rethink everything they knew. These humans were not invaders. They were not reckless killers. They were dangerous, yes, but in a way the galaxy had never seen. A species that could survive anything and choose to save life instead of destroy it. Rumors spread throughout the council. Humans were apex predators, Deathworlders, fearless of storms, fire, radiation, disease, and wild animals. Yet the most dangerous part was their will to help others in situations that would terrify most species. Jack, Laura, Kevin, Claire, and Eric did not know the whispers. They only knew they were here to learn, explore, and make friends. Every action they took, every simple smile, every word of kindness, changed the perception of the council slowly. And slowly, the council began to understand that humans were not just survivors, they were a force that could bring hope in the most dangerous places, a species that could endure death and choose compassion. The humans did not realize it yet, but the galaxy was beginning to fear and respect them at the same time. The Deathworlders had arrived, and they were unlike anything the council had ever known. The story of their presence was only beginning, and already it was changing the minds and hearts of an entire galaxy. The humans prepared to leave the small outpost and travel to the council's capital. Jack Carter checked the ship systems carefully, while Laura Phillips organized supplies and medical equipment. Kevin Ross studied alien maps, noting the safest routes, while Claire Dixon examined structural schematics of the council transport system. Eric Dean went over the ship's controls, adjusting for the heavier-than-normal atmosphere of the council capital. As they approached the capital, the humans noticed fleets of ships hovering near the atmosphere, observing them closely. Every species in the council seemed to be watching. The humans waved politely, not realizing the fear their gestures caused. Alarms flashed quietly on council monitors. Every council leader was informed. Unknown species approaching classified as highly dangerous. The humans landed on a large platform, their ship settling without issue despite the thick gravity. Jack stepped out first, his boots pressing firmly on the metal floor. He looked around, noting the many alien delegates watching them from a distance. He raised his hand in greeting, smiling warmly. The aliens whispered. "They survive all this," one said. "Their bodies are stronger than ours, and they do not fear us." Laura Phillips stepped down next, her presence commanding yet calm. She walked slowly among the alien crowd, speaking softly. "We are here to talk, not to fight," she said. The translation drones worked harder than ever to convert her words correctly. Some aliens were reassured, but most still felt a dangerous aura radiating from these humans. Kevin Ross bent down to observe small alien children who had wandered close. He handed them fruit-like snacks from Earth, smiling. The children stared in awe, touching the food carefully. One of the crystal-skinned beings stepped back in fear. They had never seen anyone handle potentially toxic matter without care, yet survive unharmed. Claire Dixon carried her tools with her, noticing broken structures around the landing area. She knelt to repair a damaged walkway. Using simple hand tools, sparks flew from the metal, yet she moved confidently, unaffected by the flickering electricity. Nearby aliens backed away. To them, she was reckless and fearless at the same time. Eric Dean noticed a collapsed scaffolding near the council gates. He climbed the structure quickly, rescuing small alien beings trapped under debris. His balance and speed amazed the humans watching, but terrified the council representatives. How could anyone move so easily in gravity that crushed most species' joints? Jack Carter called out to the council leader. A being with long tentacles and dark, smooth skin. "We come in peace," he said clearly. "We only wish to share knowledge and friendship. We do not attack." The council leader, named Rylor, studied Jack carefully. "Your presence here. It terrifies my people," Rylor said slowly. "Your kind survives danger that would kill entire fleets. You are apex predators in ways we cannot understand." Jack nodded. "We survive, yes, but not to harm. We survive to help." Suddenly, alarms rang throughout the city. An energy reactor near the capital's center had exploded. Smoke and fire spread rapidly, threatening hundreds of alien citizens. Panic spread among the council species. Without hesitation, Jack ran toward the danger. Laura followed closely, coordinating rescue efforts. Kevin carried medical kits and treated injured beings. Claire lifted heavy metal debris with ease, clearing paths for trapped citizens. Eric climbed a burning tower, pulling out small winged children who could not escape. The council watched in shock. Humans ignored radiation, fire, and collapsing structures. They moved with precision, acting as if danger was ordinary. One council advisor whispered, "They do not fear death, and they choose to face it for others." After hours of effort, the humans had saved hundreds. Buildings were stabilized, injured, aliens treated, and fires contained. The city was in chaos, yet the humans had turned disaster into a controlled rescue. Jack approached Rylor afterward, sweat on his brow. "We are done. Your people are safe." Rylor nodded slowly. "I have never seen anything like this. Your kind. You survive death, yet you protect life. This is terrifying." Laura smiled. "It is simple. We help others when we can. That is what we do." Kevin Ross added, "We survive harsh worlds, yes, but we do not use our strength to dominate. We use it to save." Claire Dixon shrugged. "We just do what seems right. There is no magic in it." Eric Dean laughed softly. "Sometimes the right thing is also the hardest thing, but we do it anyway." Word spread quickly through the council. Ambassadors whispered to each other. Humans are unpredictable, fearless, and skilled. They survive storms, radiation, and poisons. Yet they risk themselves for others. They are not conquerors. They are a new type of threat, one that values life. The council debated. Some feared humans could dominate entire systems. Others realized humans could be allies who brought hope and strength. Jack and his crew were unaware of the discussions. They only wanted to understand this new galaxy. Later, humans explored the capital. They moved through crowded streets, greeting beings politely. They helped repair damaged ships, assisted small merchants, and even showed children simple games from Earth. Every action reinforced the same image. Humans were fearless yet kind, strong yet caring. One evening, Jack and Laura walked along a platform overlooking the city. Smoke still rose from distant fires, But the humans felt calm. "They are starting to understand us," Jack said. Laura nodded. "Yes. But it will take time. Some will still fear what they cannot control. Our work is just beginning." Kevin joined them, holding a small alien child who had been orphaned in the explosion. "They trust us," he said. "They see that our strength does not hurt them." Claire Dixon laughed softly as she watched aliens attempt to repair a damaged transport system with human guidance. "They're learning fast, but they're still terrified of sparks," Eric Dean smirked. "And we're only showing them the basics. Wait until they see what humans can do in space storms." The council finally gathered to discuss the humans formally. They invited Jack, Laura, and the crew to speak. For the first time, humans were not treated as visitors, they were acknowledged as a species that could shape the galaxy. Jack spoke slowly, clearly. "We are not here to conquer. We are not here to fight. We survive harsh worlds because we must. And we protect life because we can. Your species is fragile. Your world's beautiful. And we wish to learn and share. That is all. Also, 40. Also, 40. The council listened. Some still feared the humans. Some were fascinated. All were impressed. No species had ever survived death so easily. And chosen compassion at the same time. Ryler, the council leader, spoke last. "Humans, you are dangerous in ways we cannot fully measure. Yet, you are also a gift. We welcome you cautiously. Your kind has shown courage, skill, and kindness in equal measure. The galaxy will watch you closely, for your presence changes everything." Jack smiled and nodded. "Thank you. We will not disappoint." As the humans left the council chambers, whispers spread across the capital. Deathworlders from Earth have arrived. They are fearless, strong, and impossible to predict. And the most terrifying thing is that they care. The story of humans spread across nearby systems. Children told tales of humans lifting debris from burning buildings, climbing towers during storms, and treating alien wounds as easily as breathing. Adults discussed their bravery and calmness in impossible situations. Scholars studied their biology, their methods, their mindset, yet humans remained humble. They did not seek glory. They only did what felt necessary and right. Jack Carter gathered his team aboard their ship one last time before leaving the capital. "We've done what we can here," he said. "Let's continue to explore. There is much to see, much to learn." Laura Phillips nodded. "And many more species to meet. Some will fear us, others will trust us. We will handle both." Kevin Ross smiled, looking at the alien children waving from the platform below. "I think they will remember us. Not as invaders, but as friends who survived death to protect them." Claire Dixon adjusted her tools. "And if they ever need help again, they will know we are coming." Eric Dean checked the ship controls. "Then let's go. More worlds await." As their ship lifted off, the council watched silently. Humans moved like shadows through the stars, fearless and powerful. They were a species born on a planet of storms and beasts, yet they carried compassion stronger than any weapon. In whispers, across the galaxy, the phrase began to spread. Deathworlders came from a world of storms and danger. Yet they brought something far more terrifying: compassion. And with that, humans began their journey across the stars, forever changing the way the galaxy understood strength, courage, and life itself. They were feared, respected, and slowly, universally admired. And the story of the Deathworlders from the stars had only just begun. The galaxy would never forget them.